Hey, long time no see. I don't think I picked up my camera in over a month now at this point, and I miss it so much. I have a lot of change in my life coming up. I don't know how often I'm gonna be uploading. This month is gonna be crazy for me, but we shall see. I'll probably talk about it in a vlog or whatever. As for now, I am back. It's been a while since I made a video, but we're doing my September TBR prompt video. I think I'm gonna pick out 5 or 6 books for this month. I don't know how many I'm gonna get to just because I'm probably gonna be really busy, but I still want to have some options, and these are all the books in my TBR. We're dwindling down. I'm thankful because all of these are pretty much kind of fall vibes, or I would want to read these books in the fall, so since we're getting to September, I feel like these fit perfectly. Also, thank you for anybody who commented on, I made a community post on here and asked for suggestions for TBR prompts, and if you commented on that, I have most of yours in here, and then I came up with some. I didn't come up with them, actually. I just found some on the internet. But yeah, I have a new jar. I got this from Michael's for free. I didn't steal it. I just have coupons and rewards. First video with this new jar. Very excited. I feel like we're just doing the basic TBR type thing now. Kicking this off, we're gonna pick the first prompt. You can't see, but my cat is like chilling with me. Right there. First prompt is a book with monsters. I have a lot of fantasy, so this will be kind of easy, hopefully. Okay, so I have Crave. This is vampires, which I consider vampires monsters, as does anybody, I think. I would assume so. This is the start of a series, and I'm okay with starting series now because I'm down on my TBR. I don't have too many that I'm in the middle of. I think I can get into a series, and I've had this on my TBR for a while, and I've heard it's really good. I'm not too much of a fan of vampires. If they're written the right way, I think I can be. I also have One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but it has vampires in it. I believe it's like a modern day Manhattan, but it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling with vampires or witches. I'm not entirely sure, so we're not gonna do that one. I think I could do Dreadful, but I kind of want to save this one until October. It's just giving more October, more into fall vibes, so I think I'm gonna hold off on that one. And there's probably more with monsters in them, but I think I'm gonna go with Crave by Tracy Wolff. This is the first book in this series. I don't know what it's called exactly. This is one of those series and those books that I feel like I may not enjoy. I know a lot of people do love this series, but I've seen mixed reviews on it. I'll just have to read it, find out on my own. All right, prompt 2. I'm gonna try to mix these up. I think some of them are stuck inside of each other too, but we'll deal with that when we get there. Continues a series. Do I have any books that I need to continue a series for? I don't think I do. I think all the books I have on here are like starts of series. Yeah, I haven't started any of these series yet. Well, all right, I'm gonna save this one for later because this is a good prompt. I just don't want to use this right now. Okay. I'm gonna set that one to the side. We're not gonna use that one right now just because I don't have any books that fit that prompt, and it's a good prompt. All right, I have one that jumped out at me, so we'll use this one. This is Ends in an Even Number of Pages. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna pick out a book that I maybe want to read, and we'll see if it ends in an even amount of pages. I do have another themed reading vlog coming up this month. I don't know if it'll be up end of September or early October, but I'm gonna look at those books that I want to read for that video first. One of them is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. These words are small. People were not lying. I haven't really looked into this book yet. I think this is 603 pages. Dang, there's a lot of freaking songs on this playlist. Holy moly. Alright, yeah, this one's 603. We can do that. I'm literally like spoiling my reading vlog for you guys right now. Okay, let's see this one. That's odd. Let's see. Darker Shade of Magic. Okay, really? These are all... Why are they all odd? I want to read one of these books. Oh, wait. Ooh, that's the second. Okay. Ooh, come on. This one's even. This one's 398 pages. I'm gonna go with The Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This is the first book in the Shades of Magic trilogy. These books have been on my TBR for years, like literal years. I'm not just talking 3 to 5. It's been more than that. Probably since 2015. It came out in 2015. All right, book 2, Darker Shade of Magic. Picking prompt 3. This one is a book in your fave genre. Okay, so I would say fantasy is definitely my favorite genre, which good thing because 99% of these books are fantasy. Let's see, September. What am I feeling in September? I think all the books that I'm going to add to this TBR are probably going to be fantasy books. I also went with the book that it's not fantasy, but I really want to read it. We'll save that for later. Okay, I think, see, this is one I really want to read. Wait. Why is it so hard to say like W's and R's together? Wayward. I really want to read this book. I don't know, is this more of like an October read? I feel like as long as the weather gets cool by the end of September, like in the 60s, I'll be fine with reading this. But I don't know why I'm just like trying to vibe with all these books. I've been wanting to read this for a while, and I think maybe now it's time because I wanted to save it for the fall time. As long as I'm getting those fall feelings throughout September, this will be a good read. Wait, is this considered fantasy? I don't know what I'm doing right now. I think this may be actually just magical realism. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm stupid. Actually, I'm not gonna read this book because that doesn't really fit the prompt. Fantasy. Why am I... See, I'm picking books that aren't in my favorite genre. So is that really my favorite genre? Guys, what should I read? I wish you could tell me right now what I should pick. I'm thinking maybe I should get one of my Owl Crate books off of my TBR. I'm gonna just read my Owl Crate books because Owl Crate books, I canceled my Owl Crate subscription, but when I was getting those books, I think I got 5 or 6 boxes. They're not books that I'm picking out myself because it's a surprise. You don't know what the book is yet. So with that, I pushed them off because they're not necessarily books that I was looking forward to. I'm trying to get those off of my TBR. I have To Kill a Shadow, This Dark Descent, Heartless Hunter, The Last Blood Carver, and then I also have back here of Jade and Dragons. I'm thinking maybe Heartless Hunter just because this one is the most hyped up and I feel like I should get to it soon. And I don't think the second book is too far out from here, so I don't have to wait a long time if I really like this book and I want to read the second one. And I do feel a little left out on the Heartless Hunter game at this moment. So I think I'm gonna add this one to my favorite genre being fantasy. Moving on to prompt 4. I gotta mix these up. Prompt 4 was translated to English. I'm actually excited about this one. From what I know so far, I know one right off the bat. I don't know if any of the other ones are, so this one I'm probably just gonna have to go with this anyway because I don't know where my phone is, so I can't do the research on which ones have been translated. But this is A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. This was translated from German. This is the first book in the Mirror Visitor series. I believe there's 4 books. It's a YA fantasy. I just realized I haven't said what any of these books are about. That's fantastic. I love when I do these videos and I just completely fail at what I'm supposed to be doing. This one is about Ophelia. She possesses 2 special gifts, a talent for seeing into an object's past and the ability to travel through mirrors. She is promised a marriage to a member of the powerful clan, and she's kind of navigating like the lies of her fiance's clan at this point, and she's just trying to survive, I guess. I don't know. It's very vague, but it seems really interesting. I've heard great things about this book and the series as a whole. This is the only book that I know for a fact that is translated to English. Wait, maybe this isn't German. Oh, French. Okay, it says right there. Never mind. It's not German, it's French. And I don't think I've ever read a book that's been translated from French before. I think I've just read books that have been translated from Japanese. I cannot wait to get into this one, so this will be book 4. Moving on to prompt 5. I'm probably gonna do 6, so we'll do this one and then one more. And prompt 5 is a color generator. Now I have to find my phone because I need a color generator. Oh, it's up there. Okay, so for the color generator, I actually used to do this when I was picking out my TBRs. I did a couple months of this, but basically I'm just gonna go on, find a random color generator website, and then I'm gonna match up the cover to the color that I get. And as you can tell, a lot of these books just have black spines. There's not very much color going on in this. Okay, I'll take a screenshot of this. So it's called Signal Blue. It's kind of like a purpley blue. I'll put a screenshot of the color somewhere up here. Usually when I take a screenshot and put it in the video, it looks completely different than what it does on my phone when I'm holding it up to the book. But this is definitely a purple blue, and I have To Kill a Shadow. I don't know what this book is about. Every time I read the title of this book or think about this book, I think it's To Kill a Kingdom. I keep thinking it's To Kill a Kingdom and not To Kill a Shadow, so I keep seeing people talk about To Kill a Kingdom, and I'm like, oh, I have that book, and then I realize that I don't, and it's this one instead. And then I think the only other one is Fairy Tale by Stephen King. I really want to read a Stephen King novel. I want to get a Stephen King novel off of my TBR, so that one is pretty blue too. To Kill a Shadow is definitely more purple and a little darker. This one has a lot of lighter purple elements on the cover, and this one is more of a true blue, so I feel like Fairy Tale by Stephen King may be the one. I wanted to read this a couple months ago, actually. I was in the mood for it, and then I had a reading vlog that I was filming, so I couldn't get to this book yet, and I kind of regret it, but I guess it works out now because I can pick this for my September TBR. This one is about Charlie. He's a regular high school kid, great at baseball and football, and a decent student. He carries a heavy load. His mom was killed in a hit-and-run accident when he was 7, and grief drove his dad to drink. He's just learning how to take care of himself and his dad. He says when he's 17, he meets a dog named Radar and her aging master, a guy named Howard. He's a recluse in a big house at the top of a big hill with a lot shed in the backyard. And I guess strange sounds emerge from that shed. Charlie starts doing jobs for this guy, and then when the guy dies, he leaves Charlie a cassette tape telling a story no one would believe. This guy has been keeping a secret his whole life, and he's leaving the story to Charlie, and then it says inside that shed is a portal to another world. I'm finally gonna read a Stephen King. I'm in the middle of it. I've been in the middle of it for, I think, 2-3 years now. I just need to get one of his books read, and it's gonna be this one. I will pick another one, even though I feel like we're stacking up. Honestly, I feel like Fairy Tale is the only decently long book on my TBR. I think the rest I'll get through pretty quickly. I'm okay with doing one last one. Last prompt is a one-word title. Okay, so I have none of those. I have Malice by John Gwynne. This one is a chunker. Not gonna add that one when I have Fairy Tale on my TBR now. I also have Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. This one, I had this on one of my other TBRs. I believe it was July or maybe last month. No, it wasn't last month because I finished at TBR. This was June or July. I need to save this one until October or November. This is a late fall one. I have Dreadful, but like I said, I don't want to do that until later in the fall too. Wayward, I could do that. And that's it. That's all I have. I think I have to do Wayward. It's either Wayward, Nocticadia, or Dreadful. Okay. I'm excited. I finally have to do Wayward. So this one follows 3 women over the course. There's 2019, 1619, and then 1942. So we have more of a modern day, back in time, and then World War II. We have Kate, Alpha, and then Violet. There's this Wayward cottage, and I guess Kate in 2019, she inherited this Wayward cottage from her aunt, and then she thinks that her aunt is keeping a secret about this cottage, and it says it's a secret hidden ever since the witch hunts of the 17th century. So let me go back to 1619 when the witch hunts were taking place, and we're following Alpha, who is awaiting trial for the murder of a local farmer who was stampeded to death by his herd. When she was a girl, her mother taught her their magic, one rooted in a deep knowledge of the natural world, but unusual women have always been deemed dangerous, and as the evidence for witchcraft is set out against Alpha, she knows it will take all her powers to maintain her freedom. And then in 1942 we have Violet. She says she's trapped in her family's Grand Crumley estate, straitjacketed by societal convention. She longs for the robust education her brother receives, and for her mother, long deceased, who was rumored to have gone mad before her death. The only traces Violet has of her are a locket bearing the initial W and the word Wayward scratched into the baseboard of her bedroom. So all these stories kind of weave together. You're following different timelines. Wayward is an enthralling novel of female resilience and the transformative power of the natural world. I'm glad that I finally get to add this to my TBR. This is the 6th and final book. So going back, since I didn't say what the first 3 were about, I will do that now. We have Wayward, Fairy Tale by Stephen King, A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos, and then we have Heartless Hunter, which this one, and I don't want to get too much information on what this is about. I kind of want to go into this one blind. I know it's like an enemies to lovers about a witch and a witch hunter. They're gonna have some complications and they're going out for each other. I think it's gonna be super fun. A Darker Shade of Magic, this one takes place in London. It kind of follows parallel universes between these couple or few Londons. We have our main character, Kel. They're one of the last magicians with a rare ability to travel between these parallel Londons. Kel was raised in Red London and officially serves as an ambassador in the Empire, and they're also a smuggler. I don't know if this is male or female. It says Kel escapes to Grey London and runs into Delilah. She first robs him, then saves him from a deadly enemy, and finally forces Kel to spirit her to another world for a proper adventure. Sounds super fun. I'm pumped for this series and this trilogy. And then we have Crave by Tracy Wolff. This is a YA fantasy. It says, my whole world changed when I stepped inside the academy. Nothing is right about this place or the other students in it. Here I am, a mere mortal among gods or monsters. I still can't decide which of these warring factions I belong to, if I belong at all. I only know the one thing that unites them is their hatred of me. And then we have Jackson, a vampire with deadly secrets who hasn't felt anything for 100 years, but there's something about him that calls to me, something broken in him that somehow fits with what's broken in me, which could spell death for us all. Because Jackson walled himself off for a reason. And now someone wants to wake a sleeping monster, and I'm wondering if I was brought here intentionally as the bait. Reading that summary again, I remembered why I wanted to get this book, because it does sound super interesting. Alright, that is my September TBR. I'm very excited again. I've been in a reading slump and I just haven't wanted to read anything, so doing this and finally getting back into making a video and picking out a TBR just makes me really happy. Finally feel like I'm back in my reading game, hopefully. Thank you guys for watching this. Thank you for sticking with me while we pick out my September TBR. Like I said, I do have a theme vlog coming up probably the end of the month. I don't know how many videos I'm going to put out this month, but I will be back. I think I'm just going to vlog more often, so hopefully you guys are okay with little vlogs. I'll talk about books in those vlogs and whatnot, but yeah, I'll let you guys know more in one of my next couple of videos. Sorry this was a little late. Better late than never though, you know. I will see you in my next video, whatever that may be. I hope you have a great day and a great night wherever you are, and I will see you later. Bye.